The worst and most embarrassing YouTube boxing event to ever took place in the OVO Wembley Arena, and it was between Deji and Alex Wasabi. Many of you may remember this event as the night Deji lost his supposed redemption fight. This was the fight where Deji was basically crying and didn't even want to fight, and then he had to go out and have a fight anyway.
I called her and I was like, I can't do this. I literally said, I can't do this. I was just crying on the phone, I can't do this. And she started crying back too because I was crying, and then obviously my mum's religious, she started praying for me. And then this is a weird one. While she's praying, I was shadowboxing just to kind of like psych myself, cool myself, cool myself down, as well as psych myself up, being like, you can do this, come on Deji, and everything. And then essentially it did help. But then when it comes to my ring walk of the Alex Wasabi, do you know that feeling when you can just cry? I got that feeling again. I was like, whoa, like, what am I doing here?
And it was just a whole shit show. But not just that fight, the whole event, every single fight, barring one, had some controversy behind it. Let me take you down a trip in YouTube boxing and tell you about what the hell happened at Showstar Boxing, aka Deji vs Alex Wasabi. First of all, we have the first ever boxing match that Salt Papi was recorded having in YouTube boxing, and that is Salt Papi vs Halal Ham. Salt Papi absolutely decimated Halal Ham this whole fight. He absolutely put that work on him and just smoked him, which is probably why Misfits took such an interest in him. However, the controversy here is before the fight even started, Halal Ham hired this rapper guy to come and roast Salt Papi just before the fight in typical YouTube fashion, and then the guy rapping just decided to start being racist and making racist stereotype jokes to Salt Papi. The commentators Joe Weller and Vidal Riley were literally telling people to get him out the ring. The announcer walked up to the rapper guy and told him to leave, and he still didn't. And the crowd was just moaning in agony, listening to this guy. Ugh.
But tonight you're about to get boxed and put in your place. Now you're either high as fuck, or you're Chinese, because your eyeballs look sunk into your face. See, but to me and everyone in here,
that's not cool, bro.
looking like an extra from Squid Games. Because with a head that big, I'm surprised you can actually sit. But it's cool for my bro, because it's a bigger target to hit.
After this fight, you had Stromedy versus Austin Spritz, or Fritz, or whatever his name was, and honestly, this fight was fine. I guess the only real controversial thing, which isn't even controversial, is that Stromedy's mouth guard was, like, hanging out of his mouth the whole time, basically. But, like, apart from that little thing, yeah, it was just your average, mediocre YouTube boxing match. Now, if you go onto Showstar Boxing's YouTube channel, you'll notice that a lot of the fights from that Showstar event aren't even on that YouTube channel. So it's really hard to find the actual order of what the fights took place at what time. So I'm just going to be talking about the fights in whatever order I think they probably happened in. The next fight was so bad, the only place I could find it on YouTube was, like, this dodgy camera footage of this guy recording his laptop screen, which you're seeing right now. And it's Mellow Fellow versus Anthony Taylor. Keep in mind, this is Anthony Taylor, the guy who beat Salt Papi. And these guys are basically just having a light spar. Even, like, the commentators, everyone on Twitter at the time was saying this is a joke of a fight. Neither guy is even attempting to fight. They're just very lightly tapping each other. It was so embarrassing. Anthony Taylor is a really weird fighter. Like, he's either really good or, like, tragically terrible in his fights. It's really strange. Why the fuck is Ryan Taylor allowed to box anymore, man? The battle between the guy who has no chin and the guy who fights with his chin. Who will win, baby? So this is Ryan Taylor versus DK Money. We already know DK Money ain't got a chin after he got knocked out by Virus and Kenny after this fight. And this is Ryan Taylor, a guy whose best weapon in a boxing match is to smack the guy with a forehead. Barring that, the guy doesn't really have any other defense mechanisms or offense. The guy fights like a drunken dad outside a pub trying to fight a 19-year-old because he slipped on his shoes. Ryan Taylor is literally 0-4. Yes, he drew with Anthony Taylor on Wicked and Bad, but if you actually watch that fight like I did, that wasn't a fucking draw, that was a fucking robbery. Okay, Anthony Taylor kicked his ass. Ryan Taylor is a bit of a joke in YouTube boxing. I don't understand how he's even still relevant. Oh wait, I know, it's because he's friends with Deji. Look at this. Bosh! Despicable, bruv. Alright, then we got Minicon versus Arms Quinones. This fight was pretty goofy. People called it a robbery because Arms won, but did he really win? The guy left the ring in a fucking stretcher. The guy was like exhausted from bro, you're a fucking MMA fighter and you're in a boxing ring and you just went into like cardiac arrest because of the cardio. Like, okay, calling yourself Arms and having big arms, yeah, that's cool for marketing, but then you have to actually fight, and that takes a lot of lactic acid, so like maybe don't fight, bro. Like just call it a day, bro, honestly. What's the plan B? Christian Hamby. The headbutts return. Christian Hamby versus Vitali. Probably the dirtiest fight in YouTube boxing history. Christian Hamby threw 3 headbutts and even admitted to throwing the headbutts after the fight ended, which was a draw, by the way. Vitali punches like a girl and kept elbowing Christian Hamby. The whole fight was an absolute mess. There was also a 30-kilogram weight difference. Vitali, not too long ago, jumped on a woman in the street and beat the shit out of her and then is still given a UK visa. Probably just a prank though, so it's okay. Woman on the street corner, covered in blood and bruises. Vitali jumping on her, beating the shit out of her, coked out of his mind. Yeah, it's just a prank. Your Honor? It's just a prank, bro. Why you gotta be mad? The co-main event was King Kenny vs FaZe Temper. They're both making their YouTube boxing debut. And FaZe Temper, with a richer background in martial arts, uses that to his advantage and basically kicks the shit out of Kenny for like 4 or 5 rounds or whatever it was. Yeah, so that was something. But what's crazy and another controversial thing in this stupid event is that FaZe Temper lost, bro. King Kenny got the decision win, and then it was overturned like a week later. Yeah, it was pretty wacky. King Kenny would later go on to pay the judges of Misfits Boxing 001 to give him the decision over FaZe Sensei. However, FaZe Sensei didn't file an appeal, so King Kenny got away with it some fucking how. Main event time. Deji got his ass kicked for the 3rd time in a row in his YouTube boxing career. So that wasn't very Gucci. Fan ran into the ring like halfway through the fight, which was pretty wacky as well. The whole fight was pretty wacky. Yeah, Deji lost his redemption fight, and a fan fucking ran into the ring. So that really just goes to show just how awesome Showstar Boxing was. In conclusion, Misfits better.